Okay, we are back, making a little bit of progress. I took yesterday off, didn't do shit, but come with us. Here's a little trick we pulled out of our ass, the tinfoil hack. Now, we have to give props to, I believe it's Time Warp Customs or some shit. I don't know the guy's name, but he did this little panel on his deal. Now, if you look at these front panels, they're kind of off, so I'm going to, you can see how the shapes are off a little bit and they're a little off-sized. This one needs to come over and this one needs to come over a little bit. I'm going to straighten these up, but I am going to lay foil on the rest of the car. This will be the last thing I do tonight or tomorrow. I'll straighten these lines up and we'll have to touch up some silver around the edges, which we may do now or we may do later. Doesn't really fucking matter. Go ahead and walk them around the car. You guys get the gist of what we're doing. Everything in the center is going to get those foil panels. And then they'll be getting airbrushed around the edges.
I didn't even know you did one here.
Yeah, I had an extra piece of foil, so I burnt it up back there. But I have a ways to go yet. But within the next couple hours, I will have this accomplished. Or at least have my roll of foil burnt up.
That was kind of a surprise for all of us.
Yeah. Anyway, here it is. Now you guys get the gist of what we're doing. We're doing 3D panels.
Are you going to show them how to make one?
Yeah, I suppose I could knock a panel out real quick. Let's go ahead and do so. Go ahead.
Let me go to him because he's doing a panel.
Now there's going to be a few separate ways to do this. I like to get a piece to start with that's basically the size. It's just oversized from what we need. You can use anything. You can use a little plastic squeegee to run around the edge of these. Anything will do it. And this is all fucked up. We'll just hack that edge off right there. We only need about 1/4 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, or just a little over around each side. I'll be right back. Let me cut this. Actually, go ahead and bring
I'm just following you.
Come get with me.
I'm a follower today.
Yeah. All right. And like I say, just bring yourself in 1/16 around from where your mark is. Now the guy on Time Warp has a different method for this, but it involves laying another roll of tape on the car and yada yada. He was a little bit more perfect about it than I am, but I'm not really too concerned with it. The edges that you see get covered up with something. I'll show you how we do that. So there technically are no edges that you can see. And we'll go around this side here. Make sure I'm looking at it right. Oh shit. That's not good. Let's see if we can get
another piece.
We may have to cut a piece, but we'll see with how the
spray goes over,
how the design goes over it or whatnot. We'll see. And yes, technically that little part will be getting covered with how we're going to cover the edges here. You want to make sure to work this down because you're working the wrinkles out of the foil as you do it. Now, one thing you do have to pay attention to is this thing has a flat edge all the way around it, so you have to overlap it just a little bit, otherwise you'll leave lines. And it still doesn't do an absolute perfect. Sometimes you get double imprints of the actual texture itself, but you're still just trying to avoid the flat line. And on this, when you overlap it, you don't want to push all the way down to the edge, because that's when you're going to double up your impression, which we still kind of do. But I don't know that I like that. That one didn't get pressed out that well. Right in this area. And it is a little bit more forgiving than you would think it is. Now on the Time Warp channel, he also uses leafing size for the glue, but I chose to go with 3M spray tack. Go ahead and put this on over yonder. And I should actually bring my setup a little closer over here now that I'm working in the back of the car, so I don't have to walk so damn far, because I forgot my brush. Okay, just hold on a second. Okay, now like I say, this stuff is pretty forgiving, so I just found that I use a brush and just brush it out, kind of lightly drag your fingers around the outside. And then we'll tuck that under there, which that's actually pretty tight. And I'm going to get something else, that a piece of plastic that'll work a little smoother for that. But that's it. It's really basic, really easy, really cheesy, but it's going to add quite a bit to this paint job. So I guess we'll check back in with you as soon as I get all these done, and then we'll go from there. This is all we're really going to do tonight. Tomorrow we'll do the next stage. The paint is about ready for wet sanding, but I'm still going to be held off a day or so for that. So I'll get back with you guys here in a minute. All right, I am back. I have got most of the car done. I was not happy with these stripes up on the hood, so I pulled those. Sorry, just pushing down some of these edges. Yeah, I wasn't happy with those ones there, so I'm going to do some resituating. Same thing with this guy right here. I'm not very happy with it, but as you can see, we got the stripes done next to it. Now things are going to look all rough and jagged right now until we do the final part of this stage, the 3D effect. But for now, and these panels aren't quite right. As compared to the other side, we like it looks better on the other side than this, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk them around and show them all this shit too.
Push the door.
But here it is. It's a fairly easy process. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm sure the sound of the styrofoam is awesome. Go ahead and keep going around. This other side's finished. But like I said, we'll do the second part of the 3D effect tomorrow. Looks good. It's like I say, it's a fairly easy process too. It's time consuming. We'll say that. We have at least 2 hours into it. But it's not horrible. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to pull it off either. It's nothing special. But it is kind of, I guess, you have to be somewhat articulate with stuff to be able to work with it. But here it is. This is rough draft. Next time you see me, I'll get these lines straightened up and we'll get moving on the next step. But for now, here we are for the evening. So like, share, subscribe, and more likely we'll see you tomorrow. We's out!